No,
We are here in the weekly. Sorry?
I was looking up how next auth could work. But anyway, we're not
Oh, I
gonna
like
get
it.
into that.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Next off.
All right. Welcome everyone to the weekly maintainer meeting. This is a meeting we hold every week to discuss what the project has been up to, what progress we've made, and what things we're going to be looking forward to in the next week. We have an agenda we're looking at. It's not public access, but this is a structured kind of agenda we're following. If you do have questions, anyone in the audience, do throw them in the chat. We usually get to them after we get through the agenda. So, without further ado, do we have any announcements? Oh, I see right here. One big announcement is that again we have the hackathon on the 22nd, starting September 22nd, with $30,000 in cash up for prizes, and the first place person gets to put their code and get the glory of being in the main AutoGPT repo, along with obviously shout out on the README and all that good stuff. So there's currently 1,320 people enrolled in the hackathon. So pretty good. We have about 10 days left until it kicks off. So let's invite a friend if you know anyone who might be interested. So yeah. Are there any other announcements? Hey, 1321.
No, but yeah, I mean this hackathon's a great opportunity to make a real difference in the agent space, make some genuine progress. You could be part of a brand new invention. I highly expect some amazing ideas to come out of this. So if you're interested and have always wanted to get involved, but you weren't sure how, this is a great way to do it. And there's so many passionate people here who are willing to help. Even if you don't know where to start, you'll find something.
Yes, wise words.
So you better have all this enrolled.
For all of those who aren't clued in, by the way, Torin is the inventor of AutoGPT, so we're lucky to have him today. And yeah. Cool. I'll pause for a few more seconds if there's no more announcements.
I was just about to send that link, Bentley. Nice.
One other small announcement is that we got announced by the AI Engineering Conference for being a presenting sponsor. So if you guys are in San Francisco, stay tuned for that. I mean, it'll also be on video. You'll see us presenting. So that's exciting stuff. It'll be on October 8th to the 10th. So towards the end of the hackathon, this will be in person in SF. So I'm gonna find the tweet and send it in the chat. For now, let's move on to any ops updates. Puts isn't here.
Maybe a good time to talk about the changes we've made on the repo recently, like operations, a bit related. Go ahead, Silen.
Yeah, sure. So if you guys look at the new repo, or the existing repo, we have a shiny new README, which also talks about the changes that have been made. So we now have pretty much all of the different things that have been being worked on regarding AutoGPT for the past few months are now in the main repo. So there's kind of four main things that you should know about, and again the README kind of talks about it. The first thing is that AutoGPT is still in the repo as the quote unquote the best agent, but the winner of the hackathon will become the best agent, and so their code's going to get put in. The second part is the forge. So to participate, and in order to win the hackathon, everyone's going to be cloning the repository, and they're going to get the forge, which complies with the agent protocol, and is essentially kind of like a launch pad for your agent. It gives you everything you need, the monitoring tools. It gives you the connections to the other AutoGPT products, and yeah, this is a perfect starting point. Um, then you have the benchmark to allow you to iteratively and objectively refine your agent without having to, run some manual command every time and manually evaluate it. And then we have a UI that comes with it. If you clone the repository, you'll get a nice UI to view how you're doing on the benchmark, and to see the different thoughts and responses that your agent is having. Um, so that's exciting stuff. It's currently still in development. So the kind of date for that to be done is September 22nd, which is the kickoff date of the hackathon. So stay tuned and clone the repo then. Um, Hopefully that's sufficient. I don't know if anyone, Swifty, Wayne, Torn, have anything else to add?
Oh, very well said. The README is very shiny. Excellent work. I love it.
Thank you. Cool. Other ops updates. I'll mention the hackathon here as well. It's more on the operations side now than anything else. But we're going to be hosting with Lab some different spaces, some Twitter spaces. So stay tuned for some AutoGPT members on those spaces. We're also going to be, sending a newsletter out and continuing to um, talk about uh, talk about the different stuff we're doing on Twitter. So I'm gonna send a Twitter link in a sec. And I guess the other thing is if you have any speakers or anyone you think would be good to sponsor the hackathon, do send them our way. Whether you know them or if it's just a Twitter link or just a name, throw them in the chat. And same with sponsors like MetaGPT, WeVA, and some others have offered to sponsor hackathon. So that's it from ops on the hackathon side. I just threw a tweet in the chat. That's the AutoGPT account. Please follow it. And it also quote tweets our announcement for being the presenting sponsor at the AI Engineer Conference. Moving on to research. I guess I'm still going to be talking. I'm sorry, everyone. Regarding research, the deadline for the paper is rapidly coming up. The abstract submission is the 21st of September, and then the final paper submission is the 28th. For those that don't know, we're currently working on a safety paper, a paper centered around safety. I guess the simplest way to describe it would be that CAPTCHAs assume that there will be bots on the internet, even though there are prevention techniques. The assumption we're making with this paper is that in the future there will be maybe misaligned agents or agents that got prompt injected, and they will have access that humans do because they will be able to do anything that humans can. And so we have to almost give them a CAPTCHA or some sort of test pass so that they can actually exercise their will on the external world. So regarding the specifics there, we are finalizing some of the logs regarding the data that we have from the benchmark runs, and fine-tuning the monitor. So one of the things we have to do is have to finish doing is coming up with malicious logs for the different kind of responses for each challenge that we have to essentially mimic what a bad response would be and to see if we can capture it. So that's kind of the stage we're at. We're maybe a few days out from getting experimental results, and hopefully we're on track for submission deadline. I think that's it on research. Let's move on to development. I'll start with Swifty or Craig for the Forge and the other stuff he's been working on. or maybe
No, sorry, I was just trying to find the unmute button. Sorry. Okay, so where's the Forge up to? The Forge now is, I think, in a state where I'm fairly happy with it. It's the bare bones, ready for plug in your logic. And the next phase, it's got a template for memory in there. It's got a template for, it's got a prompting template system there. So I've used Jenga 2 to allow you to go and, or generate prompts and assign them for different OpenAI models or different LLM models. So you can define whether it's going to be GPT 3.5 or GPT 4 and tune your prompts to the different models as you desire. And if your model doesn't exist, it just picks the model with the name closest. So for example, if you just put a model GPT 3.5 and then you want to run it with GPT 4, it'll look in the folder, find GPT 3.5 as the closest and use those prompts. I've also included samples of some prompting techniques, such as chain of thought and as an expert, or I don't know the exact name for that one, but I've added them in to start giving you examples. I'm going to pull out all the main AutoGPT prompts and add them in as examples as well, so you can use them. So moving on to the next phase now, which is making sure we have as much documentation and tutorials on how to use the Forge as possible prior to the launch of the hackathon. So the system will be tested and there'll be plenty of information and resources for you to know where to start. So that's it for me on the Forge side.
perfect. That's amazing. Great progress there. Just to reiterate, the Forge is the launch pad for the agent. So Craig is working on some very important stuff right now. That's really crucial for the hackathon as well. Moving on to Marwan regarding the benchmark or any agent protocol related stuff.
Okay, so you've seen on the main repo, we now have 3 folders, right? AutoGPTs, Benchmark, Forge. So Craig just talked about the Forge. I'm going to talk to you about the Benchmark folder. Elaine has built it with me. We built it together, right? It allows you to evaluate your agent. And so during the hackathon, that's what you are going to indirectly use within the Forge, right? So typically during the hackathon, what you would do is you would git clone, would go to the Forge or to the root of the folder, we'll still see, and you'll just use the benchmark as a library, which optionally you can actually edit if you want, but don't recommend you to do so because it's literally the benchmark where you're going to be evaluated against, right? Okay, so we've been working on integrating that to the repo, integrating it into the CI so that, for example, the Forge can pass some challenges, at least the minimum ones, to make sure that so the Forge should be unopinionated and it shouldn't be like a very good generalist agent, it shouldn't be a very good specialist agent. It should be able to do some things, right, a little. And so that's what we're going to make sure of with the CI and the integration to get that ready. Really, that's it on the benchmark side. I'm going to make a call here to get some beta testers. We can start putting agents in the arena, right? To prepare the arena. So why do we want to do this? Because we need to test to make sure that everything is working seamlessly, right? So message us if you're interested so that we can start onboarding your agents into the benchmark and into the arena. This will also allow you to get started on the hackathon. This will help us other people have a good experience based on the feedback you give us. Like if you struggle with one thing, you can tell us what it is and we can improve it. So we're pretty lucky to have this community where we can actually test before a launch that everything is working correctly. Okay, so if you're interested, join me on the channel. I've created a channel for the beta testers, right? And so you just, everything that you don't like, you just throw it there and we're gonna help you with that experience. I'm going to copy the link here. Okay. Yeah, just go here. I've added some instructions to install the Forge. Craig will also add other things. We'll create commands to help you install things so that you have as little work as possible. But yeah, complain as much as you can. It's what this channel is made for. We know not everything is perfect. We've been working a lot. There was a lot of moving parts. Okay. So that's it. For example, media, if you want to onboard PolyGPT into this new, so we had to change slightly the protocol. It should be very straightforward, okay, media, but that's also the place where you would interact with us, this little channel, where you tell us why you wouldn't be able to integrate Evo or PolyGPT, if you want to participate to the hackathon, obviously. Right, media?
Amazing. Yeah. So right now we haven't had the full integration with the agent protocol, and we will be doing that in the upcoming week. So we will be one of the beta testers. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, and keep in mind, beta testing is happening between now and 2 weeks from now. So it's a very short window for us to have beta testers. Your agent will be called out. Like if you enter the arena officially, meaning you are plugged into the benchmark and we are able to benchmark you, I'm going to create a little CI test to make sure that you comply. If your agent enters the arena, I'm going to actually promote what you did on Twitter, and I'm going to make sure to let people know about it. So there's also benefit there. Okay?
Sounds amazing. Thanks again. Yeah, we'll definitely start beating some of these benchmarks. And yeah, we'll look forward to the other ones that we haven't really seen. So I'm pretty sure you got something up your sleeve after the hackathon starts. So we're looking forward to that too.
Amazing. Thank you for the update, everyone, and thank you, media, as well. The last component is the UI. Unfortunately, Hunter isn't here, so I can take this, or Torin, if you want to briefly cover the UI.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be good if we had some designs to share with everyone, but yeah, we'll be building this open source front end, which is currently sitting in that front end folder, which hasn't been linked yet, but it's just in our root of the repo / front end. Yeah, we'll get some designs on that link so you can see what you're downloading. But in the coming week, you'll have a functioning version of this front end where you can just spin it up locally on your machine and easily interface with the agent you're developing, easily run the benchmarks, and easily submit your scores to a live leaderboard that we're going to be running throughout the hackathon. So you can see, 1 week in, who's winning, which category you're winning in. And yeah, bit of a live competition there. So I'm really excited to get some. I know everyone's been really looking forward to getting a front end for the last months. So yeah, very excited to give this to you all, and excited to hear what you all think about it.
Nice. We're finally gonna have a UI. This is exciting stuff.
Yes, super exciting.
Yes, and you'll be able to run
At
this
the
UI
last.
everywhere. Oh, am I muted? You'll be able to run
No.
this UI everywhere, right? On your phone, on your not iPhone, like Android and all these things, on Windows, Mac, Linux, because it's using Flutter, so it's cross-platform.
Yeah.
And media, if you implement the protocol, you'll be able to plug it to PolyGPT and Evo. You'll be able to use this UI to provide to visualize what PolyGPT is doing. As long as you follow the protocol, the UI will automatically be pluggable to your agent.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's completely open source and free. So go wild.
By the way, the reason we keep mentioning this agent protocol is because it allows for standardization in the field. This isn't something that AutoGPT started, but it is something we're supporting. there's a foundation, a non-profit foundation being created called the AI Engineer Foundation that's pushing for a standard in the field, so that basically anyone who implements this protocol, they'll be able to use our UI or use our benchmark, and vice versa. Like we'll be able to essentially call any of the agents in a hackathon and test them internally without having to like figure out how to install each one of them. Think
Yeah,
we
exactly.
have the Nick. Do you want to talk about the leaderboard or?
Torian, that's coming from the wrong computer. Let me know if y'all can hear me well. Torian covered it a little bit, but basically it's just a method to say, hey, your agent's the best agent or your agent's the worst. Right? Obviously, we're not trying to shoot for the worst agent, but um, I'll have y'all a beat there for sure. Um, all it is just a little ranking mechanism. It'll go up on our website. Pretty cool. I'm working on it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know this leaderboard is not a source of truth or anything. It's just a way of putting your scores out there. It's not the actual judging. Assuming no one cheats or does anything dodgy, then you know the score you submit is probably going to be reasonably close to the score you actually get when we test on our side. So that's how it's useful. But you know, it's not the person who's at the top of the leaderboard at the end of the hackathon does not necessarily win. It's based on us running a validation set of these benchmarks, which we've held back, to kind of avoid overfitting, and you know we don't know necessarily what you did on your PC when you ran the benchmark, so you can't just submit the highest score possible and win. But yeah, it should be super exciting. I'm excited to watch that update live.
If challenge number 1, write into file, blah, blah, blah. If challenge number 2, write into file, blah, blah, blah. Yes!
Yeah, we can't have that. We can't have that unless it's the AutoGPT team. Then we can do that.
Puts is only one
Yeah.
allowed to do that because he's not eligible to win.
Oh,
Do we have any more development updates?
Puts has done a bunch of work on making AutoGPT better. I don't think he's here to actually talk about it today, but there's a couple issues he opened with his notes. Those are 5190 and 5191. Both of those focus on improving AutoGPT and its processes. I think a lot of people should take a look at those. But he has been on a tear, absolutely improving it. And I just want to give a shout out to him for working on improving our agent so much.
yeah. These are really great issues. They could be a blog post in themselves.
Yeah.
Could actually
Links
publish
to
them somewhere.
those? Throw in the chat.
Yeah, where are they? You got them, Nick.
Hold on. I'm gonna go grab the actual ones, so I don't forget the numbers. I was using our Discord bot, which we should also discuss.
Yeah.
If while I do this, Bentley, if you're here, you want to give it a shout. Tell us about it.
On issues or pull requests are also sent across. If you authenticate with the bot, which I will be making that public pretty soon, but at the moment it's still work in progress, you'll be able to authenticate. And then if you comment, the bot will comment sort of on behalf of your user, if that sort of makes sense. And there's the thumbs up and thumbs down command, which we use that a lot on GitHub, and I think that's going to be pretty useful for us. As well as one last thing, there is a label command for maintainers who have the perms to be able to label stuff. that is doable as well.
Well, thank you very much for making that. It's really cool. So is that up and running in our server right now?
Yeah.
So if you, I've just put two of the links into chat. There's open issue 5191 and 5190. If you click on those, that will take you to sort of the section where the bot is, under the GitHub section. If you don't see that, you might need to right click on browse channels and click show all channels, because I know Discord likes to hide some channels at times.
It does. Okay. So when we're on these posts here, do we excuse my ignorance, but do we react to the post just like a Discord reaction, or is it like a command?
So for the thumbs up stuff, once I've properly released the authentication, you'll need to authenticate with the bot with your GitHub. Then it'll just be a thumbs up command or a thumbs down command. Though I do want to add it where you can just simply react to the thumbs up or thumbs down to make it a bit easier.
Yeah, super cool. Brilliant.
Yeah, I use this all the time. I love it. This is great. I closed an issue with it earlier this morning.
Brilliant. Great to hear.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Bentley. And you've also been amazing on the hackathon side as well, helping set up the Discord for the virtual hackathon. So, huge shout out to you, Bentley. The next item is documentation. I mean, we briefly covered this already. I know Craig had mentioned a few things. I'll just briefly say that LabLab is making some tutorials for us. They're making a quick start tutorial, tutorial on how to submit and to win the hackathon, and a couple others. So that should be done today or tomorrow, and we'll keep you all updated about that. Hopefully next week we'll just throw some links in the chat, and you will be able to dive in. Anyone else got any comments on documentation? Moving on to collaboration. We now have a sponsor package for the virtual hackathon. So I'm going to be sending that out to some different companies, including Cohere. Nick, I did see that conversation. And I think MetaGPT, I'm going to be sending it to them as well. Again, just working on getting people for the in-person hackathon as well. I need your guys' help on that. In terms of team, I am a little stretched for time to be sending many emails. So if we can decentralize and like send 5 emails each to the people that we want to be in the in-person hackathon, that would be great. I think that's it for collaboration on my side.
Cool. I reached out to the person who created Remember-all, is it called? So this is like a unopinionated, or in theory, it's an unopinionated method of enriching conversation history for an agent. So you just send it your conversation history, and it, does something that we don't really know, but presumably stores that somewhere, and then it like adds to it relevant information that you've previously come across, which in theory is super cool, and it's something we've been calling for a long time. All right, see you, Nick. Yeah, something we've been calling for a long time. I'm not sure if it works for the way we currently have AutoGPT set up, because we no longer actually have a conversation history, but it should be possible. So I've been messaging with this guy on Twitter, and I think maybe Putz might have a call with him technically regarding that. It's an interesting opportunity. I'd like to see how it performs. But it could be a great thing for hackathon contestants, I would say. If you don't want to implement any sort of memory, assuming this works, I've not tested it, but assuming it works, then remember all this. It's an open source project, right? I think it is. But yeah, assuming it is, this would be a great way to add memory to your agent without having to really think.
Great. That's amazing. I don't have anything else to add here, so I'll pause for a second. Okay. Moving on to visibility. I don't have anything else to add on my end. I think a lot of things have already been covered. So I'll leave the floor open. Zooming through this. Facilities. We still don't have any official facilities. So I wish Nick was here for that. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Bentley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we do. We do. If he's not here, can we just break in? Is that? I'm sure he'll be okay with it.
He's out right now. Let's pop in.
Discussions, release review. Luke or Puts aren't here, but again, Puts has been working really hard on AutoGPT. He's tracking all the stuff in the issue, so that's, I guess, the unofficial release review moving forward. Team inventory. Oh, we have some additions to the team. So I'll just read out what's here. Leo is now a contributor. Puts added him. Tao is now a contributor. Nick added him, and Data Structures is also a contributor now. Puts added him. So if any of you, looks like Leo's in the audience. So thank you for
Excellent.
joining us.
Yeah, welcome. Great to have you here. Really, really great.
Nice.
It's good to have someone actually in the audience who we're welcoming. I think that's happened before.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting it. I went to look in the audience. I was like, oh, Leo's here. Nice to have you
Yeah.
here, Leo. Planned time for unplanned question and discussion. So this just means, does anyone want to bring something up that hasn't fallen into an agenda item before?
Only one thing to
Last
note,
thing
I
here.
suppose.
Yeah.
Just to note is I've been working with someone on an amazing new logo, something a bit more tidy and professional. Same sort of theme, but yeah, it looks really good. I'm very excited to share with you all pretty soon. So keep an eye out for that.
New AutoGPT logo. It's amazing.
Mhm.
We're at the point where we can wrap up. I'll pause for some time to see if anyone has questions they want to throw in the chat. I see Savin asked if I want to get better at AutoGPT or more familiar. I know Scott has some tutorials for that. So if he's here, I could throw something in the chat.
Cool.
Anyone in the audience that works on things related to agents they want to share? Oh, Saven just raised his hand here.
Oh, is there a YouTube channel? Savin asks. Yes. Okay, Bentley's getting the link. Amazing. I don't think we need to. Yeah, Torin.
Yes, Scott. Is Scott's video on the channel that you're getting the link for, Bentley, or is it a different channel? I have honestly no idea, but I think that's what we're looking for here. Awesome. Yeah, it's a good video.
As a new member, is there any way I can get involved helping out with issues or development? Yeah, so Wayne said help test the hackathon setup. There's also, I think Put's added some stuff to contributing, right? He updated the contributing docs. He did.
Yeah, cool. So there's, yeah, contributing, documentation, have a look through that. But yeah, right now, the
Hi, I'm
coolest
the
thing
Anonymous.
you could possibly help out with is the culmination of our front end, our benchmark, and our forward, which are the three biggest things we've been working on. They're all culminating in the next 10 days because the hackathon starts on the 22nd. And if you want to help in any way testing, just even testing the AutoGPT agent with these things, finding the inevitable bugs in our setup. If you've got your own agent, get a bit of a head start on the hackathon competition and get it set up now with us. We'll walk you through it, and yeah, that would be an amazing way to help because, yeah, as I said, this is the combination of everything we've been working on. The benchmark is super, super important for developing agents. The Forge gives you a brilliant starting point, and there's finally a front end so you can actually easily use it, not in the CLI. So get involved with that. All open source, all collaborative.
Yes, and maybe the future winner of the hackathon is here in this audience. And remember, what you get is 15K, the ability to have your agent in the repo. And it's not going to be like owned by AutoGPT. We'll make sure that, you get, your work is promoted, however that is, okay? And so it's a great opportunity. So I really hope you're going to build an amazing agent. And you can actually start working on it now to prepare for the hackathon. The race has always started. He's always there. Like, we always want to improve agent. The hackathon is just like a pretext to actually get it even better, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got some exciting stuff going on. Thank you everyone for joining. I don't see any questions in the chat, so I think we can call it a day. Same time, same place next week. So on the 19th, same time this meeting started.
Excellent. Okay,
Thank
we'll
you,
see you
Bentley.
all there.
Thank you everyone. Bye bye.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Bye.